Hello students, and welcome to week 4, and I appreciate your patience in me getting this video up. So first of all, I want to kind of go over last week's discussions and assignments, and the first one is your financial aid review sheet. And I just want to tell you that most of you found the video helpful, and I think there's always more to learn in an area like financial aid. It's kind of this black box, and maybe if you're not familiar with it from having used it and gone through the process before, it's kind of a black box and you don't understand what's going on. So I think the video did a great job of explaining all the types of aid and the different intricacies of that office. So one thing that I want to tell you about financial aid, and several of you mentioned the Debt Snowball book, that you're already reading that or you've read it in the past, and so yeah, I think the video was good and a lot of you got value from it. My personal experience with financial aid is that I was very pleased to read that a lot of you are already very conscious of how much you're borrowing, and you're intentionally borrowing the minimum and relying on grants and scholarships, and not taking out any more loans than you already need. And so from personal experience, I want to say that kudos to you, because as I can tell from personal experience, I was very foolish when I was 19 and 20 and getting student loans, and I'm still paying for them today. I just turned 50 the other day and I'm still paying on my student loans. So basically, it's a second mortgage for me, and I wish I had done things differently as a young man, but I didn't. And so it's very serious business borrowing the amounts of money that they will loan you, and I'm very pleased to see that many of you are a lot more mature than I was at that age, so congratulations. And if you're a little loosey-goosey about the loans, seriously rethink your attitude, because they don't go away and you do have to pay them back. So that being said, the financial aid office has actual counselors, and I visited with one, Sharon Frazier, when I was frustrated with information I was getting from Sally Mae, trying to set up my income-based repayment, and there is a public service loan forgiveness program, and it was very difficult to get information back, and I went and visited Sharon, and see, Sharon has kind of a hotline, and it bypasses these you get the frontline call centers, when you call big financial institutions, these frontline call centers that are minimum wage workers, and they run from a script, and it's very difficult and frustrating to get information out of them. And so I went and visited Sharon, and she has a hotline, and it bypasses this tier 1 support, and she gets a dedicated rep, and I was able to get all my questions answered, get the right forms fill out, and I left that meeting confident that I understood things, and how to move forward with that. So don't let financial aid be a black box of mystery to you. Contact the counselors in the financial aid office, and Sharon Frazier, I forget her exact title, but she is there specifically to help students take questions and help students navigate the financial aid realm and get the answers they need, and make sure that the students understand where they stand. She gets your questions answered is bottom line. So don't miss an opportunity to get things clarified for yourself if you have questions or fears or worries or concerns. So great, financial aid. Next up was academic integrity. And a lot of you shared cheating stories that you've witnessed, and many of them were high school related, which is fine. And cheating does take place at the university level, and it is very serious business. And I appreciated that some of you just recognized, hey, do the right thing. Cheating is wrong. You're cheating yourself out of an education. And there can be serious consequences. I think, I hired a student worker a while back, and she interviewed real well, and she was a good worker for a while, but over time, behaviors kept repeating. And it turns out that this person was a kind of a chronic, maybe, yeah, a chronic liar. This person played the victim, and it was all wrapped up in kind of a history of doing as little as possible, and that involved academic dishonesty while she was a student here. So my point being is that participating in academic dishonesty at any level of severity reflects on your character, and I'm very pleased to see that the character of the students in this class looks very high. And that may sound a little grandiose to talk about character, but I say this because the student that I'm referring to, she made choices early on and never kind of broke the habit. She never evolved out of that. So not that any of you would ever participate in academic dishonesty, but I think the practice of the behavior, while bad in itself, actually can be a symptom of something more serious that can follow you, beyond college. So indeed, do the right thing. Also, the Dean of Student Affairs just contacted me this morning and invited me to serve on a Student Conduct Advisory Board. And I was happy to agree to that. I've never been involved in anything like that at this level. I have colleagues that are, and it's very interesting. But so, I'll be involved in conduct reviews, and the students are, they appeal whatever the ruling is, and we listen to the students' appeal, and then we make judgment. And so my point being here is that on a daily basis, students that may or may not engage in academic dishonesty and other unacceptable student behaviors are held accountable on a daily basis. So keep that in mind and stay the course of righteousness. Not to be flippant about it. But so that's enough there. It is serious business, and it does take place on the campus, and so at the very minimum, avoid any such behaviors or people that participate in them. So okay, moving on. Enough of that. So this week we've got 3 chapters to read, and I want to say that the emotional intelligence chapter, okay, I think a lot of you are going to enjoy that, and a lot of you will roll your eyes, and that's fine. It's going to resonate with some of you and not so with others, and that's absolutely fine. Then this chapter on learning to study, comprehend, and remember. This is a great chapter. I know young people maybe feel they have it all figured out, but I encourage you to keep an open mind to new ideas with what this textbook has to offer about being a good student. There's several chapters in this textbook that give you a lot of tools for your student toolbox, and this is one of them, the learning to study, comprehend, and remember. All about how to read a textbook. So keep an open mind, my younger students and my non-traditionals. These chapters, note-taking, which we'll look at later, and this one and another one I can't think of off the top of my head, these are gold mine for you. You're coming back, haven't been a student for a while. These types of chapters are your roadmap. They will answer all your questions, alleviate all your fears. I was just helping a past student just the other day with a new job type of a deal she had to do, and she brought up the study skills she learned in this class as being key to her success. So I'm seriously not kidding. There's good stuff in here. Just keep an open mind, and actually, if you're struggling, apply something. Do something different. Try something new. And lastly, time management. Time management is what separates the doers and the shakers, the successful people, from the rest of us. You look at anybody that has risen above and become successful, at the core of it all is going to be good time management skills, being cognizant of how you spend every minute of every day and spending your time the most effective way possible to get things done. And this ties into goals and priorities and all this other stuff, but this managing your time chapter is another outstanding one that I highly encourage you to keep an open mind. Gather these tools for your toolbox and apply them when you are struggling. It's so easy to get overwhelmed with everything going on in your life and being a good student as well. And good time management, see, it takes an investment in time up front, right? So that's why so many people don't take the time to become organized with their time, just because it's an investment up front of your time, but the payoffs are worth it over the longer run. So keep an open mind as you read this chapter, and apply these skills that this chapter gives to you. The Blackboard assignments for the week are in the Blackboard assignments folder, and some of you have already turned in the eChug, eToke, and Ask, Listen, and Refer assignment. And there was a little confusion there because I guess one certificate doesn't have your name and another does. And so you've been emailing me those because you've already submitted one of them to the upload area. So I've changed all of these to multiple attempts. So those of you that haven't done this yet shouldn't run into that problem. Those of you that did, sorry for the confusion. Thank you for emailing me your assignments. Grades are in the book for last week. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'll always reply as quickly as possible and help you out as best I can. Other than that, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you again soon.